You guys are back on the air. Offered Shops came back for a new season on Premier Streaming Network. Uh, what went into the decision to join Premier Streaming Network? Why was it the right time for a new season?
It was about time,
Yeah,
right, Cass?
it was.
It had been about 2 years, and we just had so much happen in our personal lives, primarily. So we just really wanted to bring back the podcast. We have fun doing it. Like it's something that we enjoy. It's a creative outlet for us. So we just really wanted to bring it back for season 3. And the relationship at Premier Streaming, it just felt really right. They've been super supportive. It's a great kind of way to get Offer Chops back out there. So it's been a lot of fun.
Hmm. Anything you'd like to add, Cassie?
Just spoke
Just
for
summed it
me.
up.
We
Okay.
usually ping pong a little bit.
Okay. Cassie, you have your in-ring return set, World Series of Wrestling Full Throttle in October. Jesse's supporting you. You're focused on acting, you're expecting. Have you guys talked about a plan as far as what's going to happen when you want to do reunite? Because obviously, Cassie, you're going to be a singles wrestler. I think you mentioned maybe wanting to team with your husband.
Yeah. No, I'm not a singles wrestler, and I can't see myself moving forward as a serious singles wrestler. I don't know, that's just not me without my life partner. But like you said, teaming with my husband and doing mixed tag stuff, that is what I'm really excited about, as I kind of like start my journey back into the industry. Where I'm not like looking too far ahead. I'm just like enjoying these like little steps, and we'll just kind of see what happens.
As far as the acting thing, like, has the strike going on affected any of your plans? Like, are you that far into it, Jessica?
I mean, I was lucky enough to film. I booked my first TV show, which I was super excited and proud about, in March, and I was actually pregnant when I filmed it and didn't realize. And then the strike kind of happened after that. So I got really lucky that I was able to still do that, because that was SAG. Fortunately, SAG commercials aren't in effect with the strike. And being in Orlando, we do get a lot of commercials, non-union and SAG. So my commercial auditions have still been the same. Obviously, film and TV has just taken a bit of a hit right now, but I think it's important that everyone gets paid what they deserved. Equal pay is extremely important, especially in this industry. So yeah, I'm just going to keep doing classes and auditioning as much as I can. But like Cass said, we're in the time, especially, Cass has a gorgeous little baby boy, and I'm expecting as well. So we're not looking too far into the future. And I think that's smart of us, just because our families have to take priority. So it's super fun, and it's an exciting time for us. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to be in a faction or a stable with Mr. Sean Spears and Cassie Lee one day. That'd be amazing. That'd be a tick off the old bucket list. So yeah, you never know.
I can envision a stable in the future, and then you have the next generation waiting in the wings. So
there you go.
Love it.
Cassie has the chair sitting behind her. So
I do. Complete with blood.
It's a very nice background. I have like Ninja Turtles and X-Men, and you have a bloodstained chair.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that. Oh no, that's a car seat.
When you guys first, like, obviously you kind of came up together, but when you first started wrestling, was there a point where you kind of, whether you vocalized it or maybe you have a different answer, each one of you, like, was there a match or moment where you just knew like this was going to work on screen regardless of whether, because obviously you guys have chemistry, you're like very good friends, but was there a point where you knew on air like this is going to work, this is really going to take off?
I'm not sure if there was like one point. Jess and I know we have always just believed in ourselves, and because we have so much history and because we kind of have so much backstory even before getting to NXT, like we knew that it was going to work regardless of like how. We just knew it would. And then when in NXT, when they finally kind of just let us be us and show them our chemistry, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, this will work. And then, like, you know, when it came time for us to get the call up to the main roster, and one of the writers told us later, I think creative was a little unsure because we had actually been out. We weren't wrestling in NXT for a couple months. We were out of action, and then they were bringing us up. So it was like we weren't like, you know, at the focus of NXT and then call up, which is how they normally do it. So they were kind of like, like, should they do, you know, another run in NXT? And then we called them up, and he was like, no, just trust me. Just trust me on this. They will be fine. And he was right. Like, as soon as we came out, the crowd knew who we were, and we had, you know, a great debut, which we always look back on as a dream come true. Like, getting to debut on the main roster on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, that's what you hope for. And that's what we got.
You also had a great debut in Impact Wrestling. That was quite the surprise when it happened. Your tenure was obviously a little bit shorter than maybe some people would have liked, but would you say you accomplished everything you wanted to during that time in Impact Wrestling?
I would say we did, yeah. We definitely made an impact on our debut, which again, we just really wanted to evolve our characters and to really kind of rebrand but still be ourselves. And we had so much fun, from our entrance music to our music video. Like, we all came, like, Cass and I would sit down and we'd talk about what we envisioned, to all of our wrestling gears, to new moves that we would do. It was just a really fun time. And I think we definitely achieved, you know, we Impact Women's Tag Team Champions. So we achieved that. And then we also got to be in the ring with a lot of people that we hadn't before, one being our very good friend Tennille, and we're in WWE. So it was really fun to finally get in the ring with her, because we had never done that before. So it was a really special time for us.
Speaking about your theme song, Harley Cameron, like, look at what she's doing now, because she wasn't really that involved in wrestling then, but I remember that was one of that, and then I think she did a song with Shotzi and Scarlett, and then she's got more involved, and now you're seeing her on TV. Like, any thoughts on what she's been able to do with AEW so far? I mean, I'm blown away. Like, I want to see more of her. Any thoughts from each one of you?
That's cool to hear, because she's actually been training at Flatbacks for years, and prior to her kind of doing those songs, she has been training, so she has been working a long time for the opportunity that she has now. And I don't often like to say I'm proud if I feel like I haven't had a hand in someone's success, but I've been right there with her along on her journey to get where she is, and I do feel pride for her, and I hope she feels that too, because she's just worked her little butt off. She's so incredibly talented in everything that she does. She just turns it to gold. So I'm really happy for her, and like you, I'm excited to see more, and I'm excited for everyone to see her in the ring. She's a star.
I don't remember the guy's name. The chiropractor video. The guy.
Yes.
Yeah, like, she was on that, and it was just like, her comedic timing is just like, this was before all the QTV stuff started, and I was just like, I want to see more of her. Like, she's just like ripping off one-liners, like, and it was like a half-hour long video, and I was just like,
that's just who
she's got a great personality. So I'm glad.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to look at it. Have to look it up.
What's his name? Bo Hightower, I think.
Okay.
A bunch of wrestlers that's how they always come up in my feed, because there's a wrestler on them, but she was on not too long ago, and it was really funny. I want to talk about your hiatus really quick. How hard was it to step away from wrestling when you're sort of reaching these goals? Like I mentioned, you know, you won the tag team titles, maybe the Impact run was abrupt, but how hard is it to step away, reaching some goals in that avenue, but then you're stepping away to focus on other goals that are important to you?
It's definitely, it all comes down to timing. And when we stepped away from Impact, it was definitely the right time. We talk about this in Off Her Chops, but Cass had been trying to get pregnant for a very long time. And she wanted to be a mother. She wanted to have a family, start a family. And that's something that I fully supported. So when we stepped away, it was for a reason, and it was to kind of it was to set up the life that we wanted, the home that she wanted. And that's just such a special time in someone's life. Was it hard to step away? It wasn't for me personally, just because I'll always support Cass in whatever she does. I don't think it was hard for you either, Cass. I think it just felt right at that time because we wanted other things in life. And I think that's when you know, like you have to know deep down it's the right time to step away, because then you're not going to have any regrets. And I think we really excelled at Impact for the time that we had, the short time that we were there for. So it just felt like the right time. And who knows? Like, we never said retire. We just said we're going to step away for a while. So this hiatus has been good. I think a lot of people that are in the wrestling bubble, you forget how much life is just out there and how much you miss, especially us being Australian. We sacrifice so much being here every single day. So we definitely wanted to have that balance of personal life and professional life. And it's been going really well.
You already clarified it, but I will note once again, you never said retired. I was careful about that the first time. I'm going to be careful about it again. You never said retired. So
we never, mate, everyone just throws that R word at us, and we're like, hold your bloody horses. We never said retire for a reason, because, you know, we didn't know if we would come back to wrestling. You know, that's such a big question mark in our lives. We love wrestling. That's all we've ever known. So the possibilities are endless. So we're never going to just, you know, say that word without really meaning it.
Yeah. I'll end it on a little bit of a fun note here. For each of you, favorite stereotype about Americans that was true, and what's the worst one about Australians that is not true?
That's a hard question.
No, that's, you put me on the spot.
It's
something about
I went to journalism for that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Something about Americans, that a stereotype that is true, you said?
Yeah. I mean, you said you live in Orlando, so it's got to be like, we only have 5 minutes left, but
I was about to say.
I lived there for a while. I have plenty I could say.
I don't know if I had like knew really any stereotypes specifically, like when we moved here.
Or pet peeve.
Pet peeve?
Maybe a pet peeve, maybe not a stereotype.
Okay, well, the drivers here in Orlando are the absolute worst.
Mm-hmm.
That's my pet peeve.
Yep. I haven't lived there in, I think, 6 years, and I will still complain about the John Young Parkway as long as you let me.
It's terrible here. I don't know how people get their license. What's the indicator?
Gosh. And then something about Australians that
was not true.
That we have kangaroos in our backyards.
Yeah, and they just hop down the street.
And they just hop around. In the outback they do. Like, my sister lives in Whoop Whoop in the middle of nowhere. She has kangaroos. But not in like this. Yeah, no.
All right. Now that we set the record straight, thank you both for your time today. Offer Chops is on Premier Streaming Network. Anything you want to plug before we get out of here? Where can people find you besides Premier Streaming Network?
Cass has got all the
I was waiting for you to hit him with it. All right, we are Jessica McKay, Cassie Lee, Off Her Chops, producer Snugs, across all social networks, plus Off Her Chops on YouTube.
Okay.
Nailed it.